Hey guys, welcome to my new channel. I'm so glad to have you join me on here. One of the most asked questions that I received as a mom, and even one of the most searched YouTube channels, is how to lose your postpartum baby weight fast. I decided to start my channel with the 5 things that you should do to knock off your postpartum baby weight, with an episode on each tip. Whether you had your baby 6 weeks ago or even 6 years ago, it's never too early to start. My name is Michelle and I'm a mom of 2 little girls, Sailor, who is about to turn 3, and Savannah, who just turned 1. So I've been on this postpartum weight loss journey a few times with you. I lost around 40 pounds with each kid. In this episode, I'm going to focus on the very first thing that you should do in order to lose your postpartum baby weight. And that is to make a plan. This might not seem like an obvious thing to do, but just think about all the things that you accomplished when you made a plan. Like planning a trip, you need to know where do you want to go, what do you want to do when you get there, how you're going to get there, and how you're going to get home. And you may even have some bumps and some roadblocks in the way, but that's when you step back and reevaluate. Either you're going to have a new plan or you're going to learn from your mistakes. Take, for example, when you go out to dinner. Once you have finally decided where you want to go, you get in the car, you drive there, and the restaurant says that it's going to be a 2-hour wait. In this case, do you decide to stay at the restaurant or do you make a new plan? Maybe you decide to go somewhere else, but maybe this time you actually decide, maybe I should call ahead or even make a reservation. So you've improvised your plan without even really knowing that you had a plan. But at the end of the day, you made an accomplishment. You went and got something to eat. So the next thing, after you decided that you really want to start your journey and you're ready, is to make your plan realistic. Meaning, don't try and start too early when you haven't gotten your routine down. I mean, you're a new mom. You're learning how to adjust to having a baby at home, not getting enough sleep, figuring out breastfeeding if that's a choice that you made, figuring out formula, figuring out all the things that come with being a new mom. If you try and start too early when you're still trying to figure all of this out, then you're going to fail. So when you're making your plan, be realistic about what your expectations are. With my first daughter, it actually took me about 4 months before I got into the groove of things and I actually stopped breastfeeding to decide that I wanted to start working on myself and my postpartum baby weight. With my second daughter, I jumped in right at 6 weeks. I got the groove down, I got my routine down, and I knew that I was ready to start. Also, when you're thinking about making your plan, don't just jump on the keto bandwagon if you absolutely hate meat and love carbs. Don't try and jump on a CrossFit wagon if you have never lifted a weight in your life and you don't even know if you have enough time to do an hour workout. So what I'm really trying to say is make sure that your plan is realistic and something that's going to fit your lifestyle and at your timing. But also keep in mind, the sooner you get started, the sooner the weight is going to come off. The next thing that you need to do when making your plan is to write down your goals. And I know that you think about a lot of goals, but I mean write them down on a piece of paper. When you write your goals down on a piece of paper, they actually become tangible. And you're more likely to act on them if you can actually see them. Whether your goal is to lose 20 pounds, 50 pounds, or fit back into your pre-pregnancy clothes, or just be able to move around better or get some time to yourself, make sure that you write them down so you can hold yourself accountable. The next thing that you need to do when figuring out your plan, and this is probably the most important thing, is to find your motivation. It's not a secret that consistency helps reach your goals, but motivation is what drives the consistency. So it's really, really important that you find your motivation. You also won't act on your goals if you don't know what your motivation is. And your motivation can be something as simple as fitting into your pre-pregnancy clothes because you don't want to buy new clothes. Finding your motivation can go hand in hand with what your goals are. For example, if one of your goals is to fit into your pre-pregnancy weight, maybe your motivation is you don't want to spend money and you don't want to have to buy a whole new wardrobe. Maybe your motivation is just getting that 15 to 30 minutes of you time, alone time. Maybe your motivation is really wanting to feel better about yourself and feeling more confident in public. Whatever your motivation is, make sure you find that, because if you don't, you will come up with every excuse in the book to not stick to it. Trust me, I know that you're a new mom and I know that time is very important, but make sure you really find that motivation so that you are able to stick with your plan. Your motivation also might change throughout your journey. For example, maybe at first it was to fit into your pre-pregnancy clothes, and once you've gotten close to that or even do fit into your pre-pregnancy clothes, in order to keep the consistency, you may need to find a new motivation. So once I finally got back into my pre-pregnancy weight, my motivation became more for my mental health. Having that 20 minutes to 30-minute workout time really gave me so much energy, released endorphins to make me feel good, and just moving your body and getting a good sweat in is really, really important for my mental health. So my motivation actually changed throughout the process, and yours might too. The last thing that you need to remember when making a plan for losing your postpartum baby weight is to act on it. So this is really important. You can sit here and watch motivational videos and really jot down a thing or two, but if you don't go for it and you don't act on it, then you will have accomplished nothing. So just to recap on how to lose your postpartum baby weight fast, the first thing that you need to do is make a plan. Next, you need to make sure that your plan is realistic. Then you need to make sure you set goals for yourself and write down those goals. Next, you need to find your motivation. And lastly, you need to act on your plan. So that's all I have for today. If you liked my video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up, and watch my next video, episode 2 of how to act on your plan. Is that right? Oh man. All right, let's do this.